Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon White. So in the last part, we faced up against Sharon again, and we finished off the trainers are in Route 10. And now we are now gonna go through the batch of check. Now we are gonna check out the batch of check gates so that we can finally enter the victory road. Now, as I was saying that at the end of the last part, as we go through each of these gates, once we get into the next area, the music actually will start to build up. Now build up. As you go through one gate, one gate to the next. Yeah, you can probably hear that. Yeah, that right there is exactly what I mean. Oh yeah, and also now you can see as well. Within the areas that you just went through. Actually, a reference of what the gyms were. Yeah, as for this area, yeah, it definitely looked like it was some sort of a restaurant. But as for the second one, why would there be grass here? Like, I don't know why. Honestly, I have no idea why would there be grass here. Yeah, I don't know what Lenore's gym was about grass. Yeah, honestly, I just don't get this one. And also, yeah, the Pokemon you find here are essentially, the same ones as Route 10. So, yeah, that's why I'm not gonna bother going through. Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna bother going through the encounters on this one, really. But anyways. Yeah, and as you can probably hear as well, yeah, now the music, once again, is building up even more. Alright. Now we have your insect badge. Open that up. Oh, holder of the insect badge. Fight valiantly like an insect. Yeah, and speaking of insects, this next area, yeah, it actually has a giant rock-like spider right here. Yeah, they actually put a giant rock-like spider here. Yeah, I guess that's something, huh? Oh, holder of the bolt badge, unfurl a shocking battle. Yeah, I bet it would be pretty shocking. And speaking of shocking, now for this area, it definitely looks like, yeah, now what we got here is essentially an electric generator of some sorts. Yeah, and as you can tell by the electricity and by the electricity capsules on each side of the bridge. Oh yeah, and we also have some NPCs other than the gatekeepers. Yeah, apparently they're just like sitting here, despite the fact that, yeah, they probably don't have that many gym badges to go through to the next one, I guess. Yeah. Of course, without the quick badge, we cannot proceed. But thankfully, we already have it. So yeah, there really is no need for any rush. Now, this next one is a little bit of a not so inspiring one, but it honestly makes the most sense. Honestly, it does make the most sense given how we got the Quake badge from. Yeah, this one is just a lot of mountain signs, and we do see a little like gems, gems on each side. Yeah, given how clay is indeed a miner. But the next area is definitely a lot more impressive. And it's probably going to be the only time that in any Pokemon game that you'll ever get to actually do this. Yeah. You'll see what I mean. Now, look at this. Gust of wind? We can fly with the wind! Yeah, we're literally walking on air! And again, that is the only time in any Pokemon game that you ever get to really do that. And yet, yeah, that is something that they do not ever bring, that they don't bring it back again. I'm like, come on, guys. Why not? That would just be so awesome. And now, but the next one is essentially what you would expect. Yep, sliding on ice. Yeah, literally. And now with the last area, this is about as also as just as basic as you would get. Yeah, now we get not one but two dragon heads, one dragon and one dragon stone from each side. So yeah, and you can even go inside their mouths if you want to. But however, the mouths are the only thing that you can really go into. That you can only go to. But anyways, everyone. Now, as soon as you go for this last gate, and now here's where we get the final version of this, the final version of this music. And now, when we enter here, welcome to Universe Victory Road. Now, all throughout this Victory Road. Okay, yeah. First off. Now with the wild Pokemon that you encounter, yeah, they actually, with the wild Pokemon that you encounter here, no matter what, yeah, they will always utilize the same music that they would play, you know, the same music that you would normally hear, once you encounter a Pokemon through a dust cloud, a water ripple, or even the rustling grass. So yeah, if you don't have any Maxipals, you're gonna be hearing this music quite a lot. Yeah. But anyways, everyone, now it's the Pokemon that you can actually encounter here. Now, considering that we're not gonna go to the outside part for at least for a while. I'm actually going to go over the Pokemon that you can find through the caves first. Now, the Pokemon that you can encounter through the caves. Once again, you can find Bouldars and Woobats inside of a cave again. But however, this is the first cave where you can encounter wild Mifus. And also, within some portions of Victory Road, and that being the first floor only, is where you can encounter wild dinos. Yeah, this is where, as I said previously, where it would be around almost at the end of the base game, where you can finally find wild dinos. But as I said before, don't even bother picking one up. Don't even bother. Well, if you want to catch one, that's fine. But just don't bother having one on your team. Just don't. For the love of God, don't. Yeah. But anyways, oh yeah, that's right. And I guess I should point this out right now, is that now, as we go along for this Victory Road, now, if you just happen to reach a spot where, in the area of what you are seeing right now, where there is a boulder where you can utilize strength for, that will essentially be your shortcut back, if you decide to go back to the Pokemon Center for something. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind as you are going through this Victory Road. If you want to go back to where you came from, if you want to go back to where you were, much faster. Oh, and also, moving on with the wild encounters. Now, once again, for the dust clouds, we can still find Now this time within the dust clouds is where we can actually find wild excadrills. So yeah, now it's at this point. If you don't want to bother with the drillburs, yeah, now here's where you can finally get yourself a wild excadrill. Then that's the Pokemon that you can find on the water. Yeah, it is still the same as you would go through in, let's say, for example, Wellspring Cave, where you find Basculins. Then during post-game, you can find Poliwags, Poliwhirls, and Poliwraths. And now, as for another Pokemon that you can find within the Victory Road Caves, is actually a brand new Pokemon that we have yet to encounter yet. And that Pokemon is the Bug and Steel type Durant. Now, even though I haven't really utilized the Durant myself, but I could definitely say, Durant is definitely it is a strong force if you actually utilize it quite well. So yeah, for those of you who still want a strong Pokemon, then Durant can actually, Durant can actually be that, can actually be that Pokemon for you. So yeah, now if you want to pick one up and utilize one, then go for it. Okay, now since we are just about to exit out, I guess I should also point something also major to this Victory Road is what you're gonna see right here. Yeah, listen, you can slide down the cliffs here. Watch me. Yeah, that's right. Now for some parts through the Victory Road. Now, if you want to go if you actually want to proceed through the Victory Road, you actually have to slide back down through the mountainsides. Now, if you actually want to actually proceed on, so yeah, definitely keep that in mind. And also for those of you who want to find every single item in this Victory Road, then you're gonna be sliding down a bunch of them. Then you're gonna be sliding down a lot in this place. But anyways, everyone, now since we're going over the Pokemon outside, I guess I should go over them now. Now, just like before, just like with Route 10, we can once again still find wild Rufflets in Pokemon White and wild Volibes in Pokemon Black. And this is also another place where we can find from Mifus. But however, this is actually the first location where you can find wild Fractures. So yeah, now if you want to skip Axew entirely, well, you can. Now you can. And also another new Pokemon that we've also have yet to encounter so far can also be encountered outside as well. And that being the rival of Durant, and that being the Anteater Heatmor. Now, for those of you who don't have any fire types up to this point, although I don't know why you wouldn't, considering. Yeah, if you're not utilizing, either Emboar or even Darmanitan or even a Lampent, then I don't know why you would not have a fire type up to this at this point. But for those of you who still want a fire type to your team, then Heatmor can be that Pokemon if you just so happen to really want one anyway. But anyways, now as for the Pokemon that you can find on the upper floors past the second floor on the Victory Road, yeah, I'll go over those for the next part. Yeah, considering that we are probably gonna be on this victory road for quite a long while. Yeah, like I said, yeah, considering that we are going to be sliding down a bunch just so we can actually get to where we actually need to go. So, yeah, let's just say I'm going to be here a while. So, yeah, I may spend also a good chunk of the next video just going through this place. Yeah. Now, okay, now, as we are just going to be fighting trainers and whatnot now, I guess I should go over some Pokemon that I still haven't brought up yet. Now, as I said previously about Escavalier not making too many appearances, Escavalier not making too many appearances, where Escavalier doesn't get that many appearances within the anime. I actually completely forgot about the other major appearance that Escavalier gets, and it is actually during the special that involves Virgil, the guy who has the Team Eevee, Team Eevee with the Eeveelutions. And also, the very same Mewtwo that we see, and it also stars the very same Mewtwo that you see within the Genesect movie. And this Mewtwo was being hunted by a poacher, who he utilizes not one but two Escavaliers. But also a Tyranitar as well. So yeah, that is the only other major appearance. Yeah, that is the only other major appearance that this Cavalier really gets within the anime. Yeah, but anyways, now I'm just gonna be fighting you. Alright, let's see what kind of Pokemon you got. Veteran Tiffany. Oh, hello. Yep, now here's where we get the evolution of LGM. Beheeyem! Now, Beheeyem is definitely a strange case, especially when it comes to his appearances in the anime. Yeah, considering that, just like with LGM, Beheeyem is usually a Pokemon that comes from space. Yes, that's why we, once again, don't get that many appearances of Beheeyem. Now, the only major appearance that Beheeyem gets was its debut appearance, where it actually helps out this scientist thief on trying to steal Ash, Iris, and Silence Pokemon. And plus, Meowth as well. Yeah. That was actually during the time when Meowth actually traveled with Ash for a while, during that portion of the Unova anime. And then the other major appearance that Beheeyem got was that one episode where a bunch of Beheeyems we saw that were utilizing a UFO, and all throughout the episode, a bunch of people were wearing Heatmor, God friggin' Beheeyem faces. But I said, well, yeah, now what you're seeing here, yeah, now here's where we finally get our very first appearance of Heatmor. Yeah, look at him. Yeah, apparently, Durants really fear friggin' Heatmor. Yeah, considering that he loves to utilize that fire of his to essentially make it look like he's got a fiery ton. Yeah, maybe that's why the Durants really fear friggin' Heatmor somewhat. But anyways, yeah, get yourself out of here, Heatmor. But anyways, everyone, now, and I think, once I'm done with this battle, which is gonna be right now, considering, considering that Yeah, considering that Heatmor was her last Pokemon. Yeah, I think this is probably a best bet for me to end off this part. And so that's it, folks. That's what I'm gonna do for this part. And we shall continue on through the victory road for the next part. And so until then, I'll see you guys next time.